Since I'm building a sprint on demand business and like 9 to 10 weeks, I had to get really, really clear on like what I'm doing each week and then staying committed. Yeah, to make sure I stay on the timeline. And so this week my focus was creating my customer avatar, 2, doing trend researching, and 3, designing my actual first design and ordering the sample. Customer avatar is something that a lot of people skip. It's a step that most people skip. Doing a proper customer avatar at the very beginning of a business is a crucial step because you want to make sure what you're selling is actually selling to like a real person that exists, that has pain points, that has needs. Also, if you think like, oh, I already know that person, I already know my customer. Okay, great. But I will challenge you in getting even more clear and writing it down. It's kind of like the concept of journaling. Like you can think something in your mind, but writing it down is so much more powerful, and it's just like it just solidifies a lot in your brain. It also helps with your messaging when it comes to writing copy that's going to connect to your customer, that they're going to read it and be like, wow, this was made for me. It's really important to get clear on who your customer is, what they like, what they don't like, what their pain points are, what they're hoping to get, so that you can strategically pick the right product and pick the right messaging that's going to speak to them. And it's just going to make your whole process that much easier because you're actually selling to like a real person and you're speaking to that real person and their needs. I created a template that we're going to follow, and I can show a little bit like the customer that I created and the steps and where we kind of came to. So if you just Google human persona examples on Google, you can get an idea of like what we are aiming to create. There are so many different kinds available, but I really just wanted to make my own custom one that just fit more for like a product business. I created someone named Josie Martin, and I just filled in a little bit about her background. Josie is a busy working mom who wants to feel stylish and like herself again, but struggles to find cute, affordable, well-made accessories that fit her real life. I help by designing personality-packed pieces that makes her everyday feel a little more her. It's an example of like how I got really clear on my avatar, and that's going to help me in determining like what I should hone in on creating. Trend forecasting is something that I got really good at when I was a fashion buyer. That's basically like a lot of the majority of what you need to do as a buyer. You need to be able to forecast trends and know like what's coming up, and not even like what's going to be popular right now, but what's going to be popular in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, because you're going to want to be ahead of the curve. By the time your stuff gets out, like for example, I've already seen Halloween costumes at the stores, and it's like the beginning of August. We're probably going to be seeing like Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff soon too, because they seem to be starting ahead like even more nowadays. The same thing with products. You really want to be, thinking ahead, because by the time like it's November and you're like, oh, it's a great time to put out Thanksgiving stuff. Well, people have already been thinking about Thanksgiving since like September, October, or even earlier than that, August. And so you want to be in that like state of proactiveness and getting in people's minds. I did some research, I did some trend. I had some ideas of like what I wanted to do. I was really into the idea of like Western idea, and then also like retro classic cars. I've been seeing them everywhere, and I don't know, I just have this feeling that we're gonna start seeing like retro classic car like designs and like I don't know, some sort of branding like coming up in the next few months. You can find a lot of trends through movies that are popular right now, TV shows. You can go on like Pinterest, Instagram, watch different videos. Even like looking at what people are wearing around you, what people are driving, what people are talking about, like those are all indications of like what people are starting to get into. And it's important when you're creating a product to like not only pick a product that's actually going to sell to your real customer avatar, but also sell a product that that person wants right now in 2026. Yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit of my trend forecasting and my researching and like how I did that and the different sites I went on and used and how I kind of came to the conclusion of like what I wanted to design first. I was feeling like I wanted to go towards like Western style just because I feel like it's really popular right now. I feel like I'm a little bit on the end of the trend, but I'm just hoping that like maybe it's picking up. So I started just like researching on Google Trends different keywords that I thought of, cow print bag. And I started to see that this Coach bag was getting a ton of popularity. Like you look up Coach cow print and there's a 5,000% than the preceding year. So I Googled what that was, and it came up that this cow print Coach bag was kind of like what I guess people were really into right now. And, 5,000% more, they call it a breakout. That means that people are really, really searching for that in Google and wanting to buy that. So I went back to my trend researching document and just wrote a couple of ideas of what I think I could like maybe design or similar things that kind of match that. I also was interested in what tote bags are looking like nowadays. And I think tote bags are always going to be kind of in. But I saw that there's this Trader Joe's tote bag, which was interesting because I was just at Trader Joe's and saw that they had just put these bags out. They were a little different because they were mini totes. And then I went to TJ Maxx and I saw another mini tote. And so I think the mini totes are really in right now. I don't know how accessible that is for print on demand, but I did write that down just so it could be in the back of my mind. After that, I went to Pinterest and was just kind of looking at different ideas, seeing what was like, color combos and textures and were people using big fonts. I just did that. Same thing as Google Trends, just typed in a bunch of different kinds. I typed in, oh, you can see a little mini tote bag. There's a cow print there. So I'm getting kind of like more of like confirmation of like what I'm thinking. Next, I moved on to the retro classic cars. So I those are some cars that I've been seeing as Kylie Jenner. She just posted a picture of cars. I've seen other stuff on Instagram of those classic cars. Resto Mod. I was just looking on Pinterest, more so like color combo. Maybe not even just cars, but like what's the inspiration of the color palettes that people are looking at. And it reminded me of when I went to H&M and saw these color combos. Lots of the browns, the reds, the greens, a lot of earthy tones. Popular site that I used when I was fashion buying was Tagwalk. You can get so much information on this website. As you can see, a lot of it is blurred out because you have to pay, which was not the case when I used to use it back in the day. I saw this really pretty intensity surge color combo that's going to be trending. I was like, oh, I need to, take a picture of that. So I just kind of went through and tried to find, themes, color combos, textures. What are brands looking to do in 2027, fall 2027, or even fall 2026? I was really paying attention to the color palettes. As you can see, there's lots of reds, yellows, and that cobalt blue is supposed to be really popular, which I don't love, but it is interesting to keep that in the back of my mind as an option for a design. I might make something with a cobalt blue. That'd be kind of fun. I went on to specific designer pages to see what their collections are. Polka dots have been in for a while, so I don't know how much they're going to stay around, but I did write them in just in case so I wouldn't forget the idea. So now I'm ready to design my first piece, which is so exciting. And this is where like my design background comes in. I am a designer, so I have skills and abilities to be able to know how to use Adobe Suite and things like that. But the thing that I actually didn't really know is how to create repeating patterns that I can like put on fabric and stuff like that. So what I did was I took a course recently, which with Bonnie Christine, I believe her name is. I'm blanking right now, but I will write it in the show notes. I took a class with her, a pattern making class, and it was a very like it was a great beginner class. It taught me more of like the technical things that you need to know in Adobe Illustrator. And so I took that class and I've been practicing and working at my pattern making. So I will show you that, what I ended up coming up with. The whole process of starting a design, making the pattern, exporting it, and then putting it on Printify. And then I ordered a sample, and actually the samples are in the mail right now. So I should be getting them in like the next week or so. So I'll do like a reveal on that. Out with this boot that I had designed and colored in some cow print, and I was just finishing up cleaning the sides so that it wasn't super messy. And then I began making a pattern and duplicating the sides. This is the part where I had to learn from the class because it was really, really important that you do it in a certain way where it repeats, because then when you copy and paste and make it into an actual pattern, like the left will connect to the right and the top will connect with the bottom. As you can see, like when I do that, it turns into an actual pattern. And then I was going through and having some fun changing colors, seeing like what I really wanted to do. If you see something here that you like, let me know in the comments, and I can always make a bag in that color. And then as you can see, I copy and pasted pictures and everything lines up perfectly together. And that's how a pattern is supposed to be made. I looked up what DPI Printify requires, and they require a 300 DPI. So as you can see, this is on Printify. This is where you upload your designs onto the mock of what you're designing. I'm doing it on a tote bag, which is the entire tote bag. So cute. Look, look, look. Oh my gosh, that man is wearing my bag. Anyway, but I didn't really love how like it connected the bottom, so I adjusted it a little bit. And I liked having black on the very bottom getting cut off, so I did do some adjustments to the design. And I did do this little like random tote bag. It's very dark, so I don't know if it's going to really work, but I did want to order like two different kinds of tote bags to compare. So this is the end result: the cow print bag and then the palette bag. At the samples, I'm going to compare and see, you know, is this a good quality? Do I like this? Is this the print on demand business that I want to go forward with? And if so, then I will start creating some more designs as I'm building out my Etsy page. And yeah,